Batman Unlimited, Gotham City's Most Wanted. High above the streets of Gotham City, Commissioner Gordon and Batman discuss a pair of curious crimes that occurred earlier that day. According to witnesses and security cameras, the crimes appear to have been committed by none other than Nightwing and Batgirl. Just then, Batman receives an alert. Crime in progress at Gotham City Museum, not far from your current location. According to all video reports, the perpetrator appears to be Red Robin. Without another word, Batman leaps from Gotham City Police Headquarters, leaving Commissioner Gordon alone on the roof. Gordon shakes his head and sighs. I hate it when he does that. Batman arrives at the museum in moments. He bursts through the doors and comes face to face with Red Robin? Could it actually be him? It sure looks like Red Robin, but it's hard to tell from a quick glance. Batman chases the all-too-familiar red and black suit up the stairs to the roof. Red Robin is escaping over the streets of Gotham City. Don't let him get away. Drag to control the backfire. Avoid buildings and hover bombs. As Batman closes in, Red Robin turns and blasts him using the device he's just stolen from the Science Museum. Zap! A powerful electromagnetic pulse sends Batman into a spin, and he plummets to the ground. Moments before hitting the pavement, Batman twists in midair and lands safely on his feet. Red Robin swoops away into the night, still clutching the stolen device. The idea of Nightwing and Batgirl robbing Gotham City technology seemed absurd, but after chasing Red Robin through the sky just now, let's just say it's been a very strange night. Batman summons the Batmobile. He plans to make a few calls on his way back to the Batcave. Time to get to the bottom of this. Select the hero Batman should call first. Nightwing is shocked to hear he's a suspect, and it's quite obvious to Batman that he had nothing to do with the crime. He trusts Nightwing to do whatever it takes to clear his name. They agree to meet at the Batcave. Batgirl answers the call with a whisper. She's on the run because someone thinks that she robbed the university earlier today. She'll be heading to the Batcave as soon as she can shake her pursuers. When Batman accuses Red Robin, he laughs. Of course he didn't rob the museum or throw hover bombs at Batman. Red Robin has been at the Batcave all evening. He'll stay put until the others arrive. Batman enters the Batcave and is greeted by his three most trusted crime-fighting partners, Nightwing, Red Robin, and Batgirl. Who in Gotham City would want to turn these superheroes into criminals? It's time for the world's greatest detective to figure this out. Let's get to work. After a call from Batman, Commissioner Gordon sends across the reports from all three of today's superhero copycat crimes. This morning, Nightwing was spotted stealing a compact prototype power cell from Electrico Corp. Not long after that, Batgirl was spotted stealing an experimental plasma amplifier from the university research lab. Then tonight, Red Robin was chased from the Science Museum after stealing some sort of electromagnetic device. Batman and Commissioner Gordon agree to keep each other informed of any new developments. The team examines the photos and footage from all 3 crime scene reports. Sure enough, it looks like Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Robin committed the crimes. But that's not all. Batman notices large clumps of reddish mud at each location. It may not seem like much, but even the smallest clue can solve a crime. With little to go on, Batman thinks the Batcomputer's files on local villains might be able to shed some light on these crimes. Search through the Batcomputer's database of known Gotham City villains to find a likely culprit. Swipe left and right to read through each villain's file. The Penguin uses umbrellas filled with gas, missiles, and other deadly weapons. Batgirl suggests that Penguin has enough henchmen to pull off a coordinated attack like this, but none of the superheroes believe the crimes are really his style. They mark Penguin's file as remote possibility and continue the search. The Penguin uses umbrellas filled with gas. Killer Croc, enhanced strength, dense skin, razor-sharp teeth, and claws. Stealing high-tech gadgets isn't really Killer Croc's MO either. Red Robin jokes he'd be sorely insulted if Batman thinks Killer Croc could look anything like him, even if he was squeezed into a Red Robin suit. He shakes his head and goes back to the files. Killer Croc, enhanced strength, dense skin. Scarecrow, causes victims to hallucinate with fear-inducing gas. Nightwing suggests that maybe the eyewitnesses at the scene could have inhaled a hallucinogenic toxin, causing them to see someone else when it was really the Scarecrow. But Batman dismisses this. A toxin can't fool a security camera. They move on to the next file. Scarecrow. Mr. Freeze. Destructive freeze gun. Strength enhancing. Batgirl tries to connect Mr. Freeze to these crimes, but can't think of any way he'd be involved. It's not his manner or target, and there's nothing at the scene to connect him. They keep looking. Mr. Freeze. Destructive freeze gun. The Riddler. Genius-level deductive reasoning. Wraps fiendish riddles around his crimes. Batgirl points out that a puzzle like this smells faintly of the Riddler. Dressing up as superheroes to steal seemingly unrelated items for an unknown outcome? Batman considers the possibility, but knows that the height difference between the Riddler in a Red Robin costume and the real Red Robin wouldn't fool him for a second. They keep looking. The Riddler. Genius-level deductive reasoning. Clayface. Skin like reddish-brown clay. Can make himself look like any other person or object. Batman recounts the evidence as he looks at Clayface's file. Flawless impersonation of variant body shapes, and red clay found at each of the scenes. Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Robin agree. Clayface is an obvious choice. Batgirl takes a second look at Clayface's file. The clues all point in his direction. But how could Clayface have carried out those crimes if he's locked up in Arkham Asylum? Batman is already on his way to Arkham Asylum for answers. Tipped off by Batman, Commissioner Gordon checks whether Clayface really is in Arkham Asylum. Gordon heads straight for Clayface's cell. Through the cell window, he can clearly see Clayface inside. Just then, Batman steps out of the shadows, startling Gordon. How does he keep doing that? The Commissioner wonders. There's a curious flicker in Clayface's movement. Batman suspects things are not as they seem. He asks the Commissioner to open the cell for a better look. The cell is empty. Clayface is gone. Looking closer, Batman and the Commissioner find that a curious fabric has been rolled across the cell window. Cunning. It's an electronic projection blanket, programmed to display a looping image of Clayface, enough to fool any passerby into thinking he's still in his cell. Clayface could have been gone for days. Batman and Commissioner Gordon need to find out everything they can about Clayface's escape. It's time for an interrogation, and you can bet the other inmates of Arkham aren't going to make this easy. Batman has some tough questions to ask. Select who Batman should interrogate first. Scarecrow is very tight-lipped, but makes it very obvious that he doesn't have a lot to say to Clayface due to intellectual differences. The fact that there was an escape, and Scarecrow was not a part of it, makes Scarecrow very angry, but that's all he'll say on the matter. When asked about Clayface, the stone-faced Solomon just grimaces at Commissioner Gordon. Solomon Grundy isn't happy about being in this tiny room. Even if he does know anything about the escape, he's not talking. Silver Banshee, with her sensitivity to sound, agrees to cooperate. She'd do anything to be moved farther from Clayface's cell. The noises he makes when he eats and sleeps drive her crazy. Banshee can't offer much, however, as she still has a headache from all the uproar 2 nights ago. Silver Banshee recalls something about a disturbance somewhere else in Arkham. She clearly remembers Officer O'Neill's radio summoning him to minimum security. That's all she knows. She suggests they ask the guard about it. Officer O'Neill explains that Clayface is generally a troublesome inmate, often making himself look like other guards or innocents in the hopes that he'll be let out. Though one of the most skilled officers in the asylum, he admits that he hasn't noticed anything out of the ordinary recently. This area of Arkham Asylum is usually part of Officer O'Neill's routine, but 2 nights ago, there was a disturbance in one of the other wings requiring backup. When asked about the disturbance, Officer O'Neill shrugs it off. There was a blackout in the minimum security wing, which caused a riot. It's happened before. So what do we know? A fake guard, a projection fabric, and a helicopter headed northeast. Not a lot to go on, but it's something. At that moment, the Commissioner's phone chimes in with an alert from Gotham City Police HQ. He reads the message and opens the link. His face darkens. With a shake of his head, he hands the phone to Batman. According to a live news report, Batman has just broken into Wayne Enterprises. Batman was standing right next to him when the break-in at Wayne Enterprises took place, but Commissioner Gordon can't confirm that Batman is innocent. For though Commissioner Gordon trusts Batman, they are working together in secret. He knows this is going to be a difficult mess to handle. Batman rolls up the projection fabric. He'll find out where it comes from back at the Batcave. In the meantime, the Commissioner promises to do what he can to keep the public spotlight off of Batman. But Batman has already left. Gordon shrugs and mutters, "I really should be used to this by now." Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Robin, and now Batman are all on the police watch list. How can they investigate these leads and track down Clayface while the police are on high alert? Batman calls in reinforcements from out of town. The Flash, Green Arrow, and Cyborg. They are ready to help in any way they can. While the investigation continues, Batman thinks it would be a good idea if Bruce Wayne were to show his face at the Wayne Enterprises robbery. Not surprisingly, the Flash is the first to arrive in Gotham City. Perhaps something's mixed into the clay samples at the crime scenes. It could help narrow down the search for Clayface. Thanks to his speed and his skills as a forensic expert, the Flash agrees to fetch a clay sample from each of the crime scenes and help the others perform an analysis back at the Batcave. Due to the recent crime wave, the police are all over the streets, so if he's going to get those samples, he'll need to be quick. Swipe to direct the Flash through the streets of Gotham and collect clay samples from all of today's crime scenes. Back at the Batcave, testing has finished on the projection fabric from Clayface's cell. Examining each tiny piece of the technology reveals that it was made by Flexi Labs, a secret research laboratory located in downtown Gotham City. Green Arrow and Cyborg leave to investigate Flexi Labs just as the Flash enters the Batcave with his 3 samples. They get to work right away. Green Arrow and Cyborg arrive at Flexi Labs. From the outside, the laboratory looks like an ordinary building, but the work that goes on inside is top secret and well guarded. The 2 superheroes will need to sneak into the server room without being seen, then hack into the computer system. Green Arrow loads his quiver with a selection of arrows and tells Cyborg to follow close behind. He has a feeling this isn't going to be easy. Help clear a path through each area and open the door. First, use a blackout arrow to disable the camera. Next, use a gas arrow to put the guard to sleep. Finally, use a rubber arrow to trigger the door switch. Nice aim. Quick, hurry to the next room. Help clear a path through each area and open the door. Well done! Better keep moving. Help clear a path through each area and open the door. As soon as they enter the server room, Cyborg hacks into Flexi Labs' computer network. Cyborg makes a discovery. A truck carrying a roll of the projection fabric was stolen from the lab a few weeks ago, but the crime was never reported. The delivery truck was found abandoned and empty and returned to Flexi Labs for repair. Unfortunately, the GPS was badly damaged, so Cyborg is only able to recover part of the route information. As the sleeping guards begin to stir, Green Arrow and Cyborg make a silent run for the exit. Batman returns from Wayne Enterprises and informs the team that the only item stolen from the research department was an experimental plasma field generator. Without knowing Clayface's endgame, he directs the team to combine every clue they have in the hopes that they'll be able to determine where Clayface might be hiding. They start by calling up a map of the city. Cyborg was unable to get a complete map of the stolen truck's route through the city, but he was able to download the directions it went from the point it left Flexi Labs. Follow Cyborg's instructions by selecting the correct grid square on the map. First, let's get Flexi Labs on the map. That's our starting point. After leaving Flexi Labs, the truck drove 2 miles south to Dixon's Docks. From there, the next stop was approximately 1 mile northeast. The thief must have crossed back to the mainland. After that, the thief drove 1 mile east toward Blackgate. then followed the road along the water, stopping 1 mile to the northeast. The truck then cut back into the city 1 mile west, before turning right and driving 1 mile to the north. After a quick stop, the truck continued north for approximately 3 more miles. Next, the thief turned right and drove 1 mile due east, stopping briefly at the pier near Rogers Yacht Basin. Then the truck turned around and traveled 2 miles west along the northernmost road in the city. From there, it traveled southwest 1 mile to the bridge out of the city. That's right near Arkham Asylum. The truck then went 2 miles west across the bridge. Finally, the truck was driven to the quarry 1 mile north and abandoned. The truck's route isn't much help. It's all over the city. Batman asks the Flash if anything was learned from the clay samples. The Flash shrugs and reports that the only things they found in the clay were high levels of salt and sand. Batman ponders. Salt and sand may indicate that Clayface is hiding out near the coastline. Batman marks all the areas on the map where the truck stopped close to water. Batman recalls one more key piece of information from the interrogation. Clayface's escape helicopter headed northeast from Arkham Asylum. The truck stopped right next to Amusement Mile, an abandoned fairground in the northeast of Gotham City. Sounds like a perfect hideout. Good work, everyone. The 7 heroes arrive at the abandoned fairground and discover what an ideal hideout it really is. Batman has a suspicion that there may be more than just Clayface to uncover at this old fairground. The Flash explores the roller coaster. Cyborg flies to the top of the big wheel for a better view. Green Arrow and Batgirl explore the prize booths. Red Robin and Nightwing explore the abandoned storage buildings. Batman opens a locked door and finds Clayface. But wait a moment. Clayface is still inside his containment unit from Arkham Asylum, and he's not happy about it. Batman's suspicions are confirmed. This isn't the end of the search. Clayface was only a decoy. Whoever broke him out of Arkham Asylum didn't want his help. They wanted him out of the way. But why? Who's really behind all this? And what's that sound of sirens in the distance? Suddenly, the police descend upon the fairground. The heroes are surrounded. Batman contacts the Batcomputer. Why the sudden rise in police activity? The response is a video that went out moments ago on all police channels. An enraged Commissioner Gordon shouts, "Arrest warrants have been issued for Batman, Nightwing, Red Robin, Batgirl, and any other so-called heroes. Use of excessive force approved. All law enforcement personnel are to go to the old fairground. Every single policeman in the city." Just before the end of the broadcast, Batman catches a brief glimpse of something Commissioner Gordon would never do in such a serious situation. He smiles. Batman turns to the others to say that he knows who's really behind everything, but his words are drowned out by a fanfare of fairground music and a squeal of rusty machinery. The heroes and police turn as one. A huge green curtain descends from above the old bandstand in the middle of the fairground. When the curtain reaches the stage, the music fizzles, as the curtain itself lights up with the word, "Gotcha." At this point, the others have a pretty good idea who's behind it as well. The word gotcha disappears, to be replaced by a smug, smirking Commissioner Gordon. At least that's who it appears to be. As Commissioner Gordon observes the 7 heroes surrounded by the entire Gotham City Police Department, an enormous grin spreads across his face. He pulls the remote control switch from the pocket of his suit. "Ah, how lovely," smiles the Commissioner. "That's what I like to see. All my good little ducklings in a row. I hope you're all enjoying a day at the fair. The ride's about to start, so keep those hands and feet tucked in. Safety first, folks." The Commissioner cackles once more, then pushes the remote control with a sinister sneer. Zap! A huge crackling dome of electricity envelops the entire fairground, trapping everyone inside. The Commissioner laughs yet again, then reaches up behind his head. "Hello, Batman," cackles the Joker, stepping out of his projection suit. "I just love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Let me go over it one more time, because if there's one thing I love, it's talking about my own brilliance." Step 1. Dress up in ridiculous outfits. Always the sign of a good party, he proudly shouts. Step 2. Steal everything I need to make an enormous trap, much like the one you're standing in now, sneers the Joker. Step 3. Make the police think the heroes did it. What's that expression about killing 2 bats with 1 stone? He laughs. And finally, the Joker hisses, get everyone I despise into one convenient location. Sproing, that's the sound a trap makes when it works. Sit tight, enjoy the fair. I'm off to do literally anything I want. Gotham City is mine. Bye-bye, Batty, the Joker says as he bows and waves his fingers. By the way, he adds, tonight's wardrobe is provided by Flexi Labs. When you need an outfit to suit any evil occasion, the Joker wholeheartedly recommends Flexi Labs projection fabric. Flexi Labs, not just for drapes anymore. Bye. As the Joker's laugh fades away, the curtain rises to reveal the real Commissioner Gordon, tied to an old magician's chair. Batman leaps to his aid, and any misunderstanding is quickly explained to the rest of the police force. There must be a way to escape this plasma field, suggests Gordon. Perhaps if they could find and disable whatever's generating the shield, they can disrupt the generator long enough to escape. But the fairground is huge. Even with the whole police force here, how can they find the shield generator? In response, Batman taps the side of his cowl. Use Batman's cowl to locate all parts of the plasma field generator. Zoom in and swipe left and right to scan the area and find them. Switching to thermal. With everyone working together, a small gap opens in the plasma field exactly as planned, and Batman leaps through just before it closes up again. Great work, everybody. There's still time to stop the Joker. To the Batmobile. Time to catch the Joker. Control the Batmobile by swiping left and right. Avoid all traffic. "Curse you, Batman!" shouts the Joker as Batman hauls him out from behind the wheel. He pulls him into the back of the truck until the police arrive. But before he slams the door shut on the Joker's plans for good, Batman pulls the remote control from the Joker's pocket and presses the release button. The plasma field at the fairground is disabled. The heroes and police officers are free. With the heroes' names cleared of all charges and the villains behind bars once again. Commissioner Gordon shakes Batman's hand warmly. Thanks to you and the rest of your team, Gotham City is once again a safer place. Batman may be the world's greatest detective, but he knows he couldn't have solved this crime without a great team. He thanks everyone for their help, then flies off into the night. As the moon rises over Gotham City, Batman watches from the skies while the heroes go their separate ways. The end.